Good morning. How the devil are you? How's your weekend been so far? Hope it's been good. Hope it's been well. Well, you know what day it is. It's Sunday morning. It's 9:30 a.m. So it's time for the famous Foxes Aftermath show. Run by the fans, for the fans. Your opinion matters. So come on, get them comments in. Come on, you Foxes.
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Are you ready for the show? Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. We want your views, we want your comments, so join us live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Morning, everyone. How the devil are you? I hope you're well. I hope you're good. Let's get a few of those in. There's lots of people watching already. I've got my understudy waiting in the background. Let's start. Morning, Matthew. How are you? Gray, how are you? Daniel, morning. There's loads coming on. Thanks for watching. Top of the morning to you, Mark. Carmen, yes. Morning, Nigel. There's so many saying hello. It's much appreciated you all turning up. Derek, Craig, Gray. Gray's already started having a moan. What a surprise about Gray moaning. Right, let's bring in young Reedy. Reedy, how the devil are you, pal?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Rightio. Well, question of the day, everyone. This is going to be a huge question. Reedy might be able to do that, even though he's a bit of a short arse. How do you defend corners and set plays, pal? Come on, everyone. Get your comments in. How do you defend corners and set plays? There's got to be an obvious answer, surely.
Get a new set piece coaching. Because
but have we got a set piece coach? Is Colo actually a set piece coach? Just because he was a top quality defender doesn't actually mean he is the set piece coach, the man of the moment.
No, I don't think he is. I think he's obviously a defensive coach, but someone like Arsenal last season, they brought in a defensive. I think they brought a set piece coach in especially for them, and they conceded about 2 goals.
Right,
It shows.
Comment from Mark Townsend: front and back post and man marking.
Thing is, we did that. I can remember we did that one game when we did it for the first time. I think everyone was cheering and whatnot. And it's like when you put 3 up front to cover to get a few people outside the box. But realistically, I remember the first time it did. Dewsbury just ran off the box anyway, ran off the line anyway. I think Casper must have said, "I'm coming back." So Dewsbury ran out, and that's where we conceded. So I don't. It's hard to know what's best for certain games, but there's surely in it a better thing than just like last goal yesterday, which was absolutely shocking.
Yeah, Daniel, it was, wasn't it? Daniel Lee says, "Command the box, attack the ball." I think that's totally correct. You command the box and you attack the ball. You go and win the header. You go up, you win the header. You don't. I just don't know. I really don't know what's going on. I mean, Everson yesterday, he's had some glowing reports from Preston, hasn't he, the last 2 years while he's been there. And he seemed to collect the ball. This is only what Danny, I think, Matty, fancy seeing Matty Fry on the commentary box. Oh, Fatty Fry, I couldn't believe it. And he seemed to take the ball quite low, didn't he? But I don't think that was a free kick. I really don't think it would have been a free kick anyway. It wouldn't have been. It seemed to take it low, and he got nudged. The ball got nudged, and so all these glowing reports, he sort of blew his big chance, didn't he? Really.
The first apparently all I can remember is the first commentary I heard was he came out and collected the ball from a cross, which is good. But then the second time, I didn't know it was a cross that came in for that goal, and then I saw it come in, bounced around a bit. Somebody, I think, Iverson missed it completely, and then someone just looped it over, and I was just like, "Are we not going to head the ball, or just?"
Well, yeah. LCFC Gray has said a good goal. Yes, it was a good goal, wasn't it? It was good work by Sumeri, and then a quality through ball by Daka, and Barnes, a decent finish. I mean, you still have to put it in the back of the net, don't you? So it was a decent finish by Barnes. Give me a bit of confidence to start the season. But then after the half time, it changed because we made 11 changes. But going back to the first half, pal, would you agree that there was only, out of that starting 11, there was only 4 that would be in the 22? Sorry, 4 out of the 22 that played would be starting against Brentford. The 4 that I've said are Little Wes. Where have I put? I've put them down somewhere. I've lost it now. Little Wes, Barnes, KDH, and Ricky P. There were the 4 that would have started. Pre-season to me means nothing. If you win, lose, or draw, it doesn't matter about the results. It's getting your fitness back up because they've had 6 weeks off. 10, 20 years ago, they'd have come back 2 stone overweight and they've had to sweat it out of them. And now they go away, they train, they come back quite physically fit anyway, but it's just match fitness. So what do you think then? 4 out of the 22 of the 2 different starting 11s, or was there more that you think will be starting that first game?
I think there was a lot more. Firstly, you've got to take into consideration Kelechi as well. He's another one from the other lineup that you'd maybe
I'm on about the starting 11, not the matchday squad, the starting 11.
Oh, no, because he was in the starting 11 for the second half.
The starting 11. The first.
The first 11. Okay, so for me, no, yes, Iverson doesn't get in there, but he was like kind of maybe getting into the squad a bit more. Yes, he didn't get in the squad last season, but with Casper and all the rumours going around with him, you never know. Iverson could have been in for the preseason match, for the preseason games, or even going into the cup games in the season. Fofana, yes. Barnes, yes. Chowdhury, yes. Oh, there's another one. Chowdhury, for me, yes, he doesn't start. He hasn't started in 11 much, but he has been in the case where he's came in to replace someone when we've had injuries. And for me, it's not all about just the main 11, because Chowdhury's always been there to come on the bench or whatever. And the same with someone like Sumari and Daka. For me, I looked at that first team squad and I thought, do you know what? It's about 8 or 9 there, other than the odd few, like people like Wright and Wilson Brown, that realistically looks and thinks they're the ones that they shouldn't be in there when they get into the Premier League. But the rest of them, they should be Premier League proven there. So what I don't get, yes, it was it 1-1 by the time that they came off?
Yeah, yes, it was 1-1 at half time, yeah.
But I know what I mean.
Like Liam's just said, Jacob, I can't pronounce the Polish keeper's name. Can you read it?
No.
Stolot.
I'm not even going to try.
No, he made a couple of fantastic saves. He did. He made some good, decent saves. Wilson Brown, Callum Wright looked impressive as well. Callum Wright went on loan for Cheltenham half of the season before, and then all of last season. Do you think he's got a chance of showing what he's made of this year in the Premier League, or is it still a bit early for him?
I think it's too early, because we've got to think as well. We're saying that we want to bring players in, and Roger said something in his conference yesterday about it. But we can't fit these sort of players in unless we get rid of a lot of players anyway. Because I know they're going to be in the academy and whatnot, so you can bring them in when you want. But I can't see any of them getting in. Yes, they need getting fitness and trying to get back into try and push for the main squads, but
it's like Nick Moore's just said. The reason why the game was behind closed door was it was a training exercise, nothing more. Next week is where we can take pre-season more seriously. Is that why you think that players like Madders wasn't involved, even though he's been training since he came back early doors, didn't he? Perez has been there early doors. Who else missed out yesterday? I can't think who missed out. But them two, why weren't they in? Or do you think because it was just a training exercise, he had no need to see what they could do? And Johnny Evans only just come back, hasn't he, a few days ago?
I guess, but then you've got to, do you think, again, I look at it, I don't think everyone needed to play there. I think it was more, if you look at it there, you've got Fofana, only really just came back last season, Ricardo, and he just came back fitness last season. Yes, you'd maybe put the case in for Ndidi and people like that to maybe play in that game. But I think it was more a few players that weren't really playing last season as much to get them going a bit earlier, I guess.
Malk, I said 4. Reedy says 8 or 9. I'm agreeing with you, Malk. Forget what Reedy says. Reedy's just a young up-and-coming upstart. He doesn't know what he's on about. So I actually agree with you, Malk. I think there was only 3. Well, I think 4 actually out of the 22.
You've got to think though. You're saying 3 or 4, but I feel like that's giving you an excuse to say that's why we've lost. But
no, because like I say, Premiership pre-season games don't mean a lot to me. It's just about getting minutes in the legs, like they did 2:45s, because we could have played an hour, and one of mine had gotten injured and would have been absolutely slaughtering Brendan. But yeah, Mal, I agree with you there. Really probably doesn't, but I do. That there was only 3 or 4 of that team that will be in that starting lineup at the beginning. What do you think to his conference? Well, it wasn't really a press conference, wasn't it? It was with Dan Bates on Leicester Fan TV. I wish on Leicester City TV that he said this refresh is more to do with the club's mentality after COVID and restore the DNA of the club. So, question to you, Reedy, and question to everyone else: what is the club's DNA then, pal? What do you think the club's DNA actually is?
I wouldn't say I don't know. I wouldn't say I don't know what the DNA is, but I think the first 2 seasons when he came in, we got 5th. The football was a lot better. It was a lot quicker passing. We wanted to be a lot more attackive, and not less like, oh crap, we're gonna lose here if we're not careful. It was more free flowing, more passing wise, and it just worked better. And obviously, compared to last season, it just was completely opposite, wasn't it? Just defensive all the time. It was no quick passing. We didn't use the wing backs enough. It just didn't work at all. But that kind of comes into injuries as well. But you can't put everything down to injuries.
No, you can't put everything down to injuries. Like LCFC Gray says, he talks silly at times, Brendan. I think he talks a lot of sense sometimes. Smoke and mirrors. Patrick Hook. Smoke and mirrors. Blokes afford. You talk about Reedy, or are you talking about Brendan there? I'm not too sure there. The DNA of defenders not available. We haven't got the defenders that want to win the ball, head the ball out from corners or anything like that, have we? But what is the club's? I'm not 100% sure exactly what he was on about when he said to restore the DNA of the club. I wasn't 100% sure what he's on about there, because he's changed his time, because the Notts Forest game, the talk of refresh or rebuild, whatever word he used, refresh or rebuild, been slaughtered a little bit. Some people saying refresh, some people are saying rebuild. And then a few months ago, he says, well, because of the World Cup, it might be difficult to sign players. Now he's changed it to the mentality is what he meant by the refresh. I don't know. What's going on, Reedy?
I still think we're going to get a few players in, but I think with what they were saying on, like, I've seen loads of things on Twitter saying that we've got the money, but we just can't bring anyone in because we've got too many people in the squad. So we need to get rid of players first, because it's pointless bringing them in just to not get them into the squad. But I know what you mean. Is it a refresh? Is it a rebuild? I don't know. But I think he can't, I don't think he can be totally honest and say what's happening, because he can't. He has to just kind of sway across.
Yeah, I don't want us to be like next on the list to know, but it would be nice just to kept in the loop and see what's going on, because you hear so many rumours.
Oh,
you just don't know what is going on, do you?
No, not at all. We just, like I say, there's so many rumours about different players coming in, people going out, and you just think, yes, we might want to hear that. We want to know what's happening with them. You want to see either people going out or someone coming in, because before
Mick Hewitt has said since Rodgers has come to the club, the club have gone to the pot behind the scenes. Poor signings for the start that nobody wants. He has been given too much power. Because I'm finding, really, I don't know about you, because you don't do your Friday show at the minute. I'm finding it hard to talk about stuff, because this time last year, I think Sumer had come in, Daka had come in. I think Bertrand had come in, which was a huge signing. Yippee! But now nothing seems to be happening and it's just, I don't know. I mean, Jason's just said 2 in, 7 out. Now, if that happened, blimey, we'd be short of numbers, wouldn't we?
Would we?
Yeah, if only 2 came in and 7 went out, there would be.
To be honest, if I'm totally honest, if them 2 people that came in were decent quality players, I wouldn't mind. I honestly wouldn't mind. Because even if we signed 1, it was the likes of Madueke or something like that, then for me, it would do. Because that's all players, that's what we need. And I'd rather spend 40, 50 million on one player that will change the game in how we play, instead of buying about 4 or 5 just players that everyone thinks is meh. It just, for me, I'd rather do one than the other.
So come on then, everyone. In the comments, I want you to put how many need to go and how many need to come in. Reedy, what do you think? I think we need to get rid of at least 7 and bring in 3 or 4. And not just 3 or 4 any Tom, Dick and Harry's, but 3 or 4 decent.
That's what I mean. If we're bringing in 3 or 4, then for me, they've got to be all on kind of that level. Like you say, Bertram's a bit of an iffy one. People didn't mind him because he was experienced, but in the end, it was awful. And maybe, yes, I'd say about 6 or 7, but that's going to take a while if we want to get rid of that many players.
Yeah, Joseph's gone 6. Where has it gone? Joe, 6 out, 3 in. Mickey T's gone 6 out, 4 or 5 in. Yeah, I think, I don't know. We keep hearing these rumours. There's that lad from Feyenoord that said he's signed in agreed terms. I just don't know. You keep hearing it until something, there's going to be a press conference tomorrow and blinded. But that is Twitter. So it must be true if it's on Twitter, Reed. It has to be true, doesn't it?
Well, he's most likely the most, like, what's the word? Reliable kind of thing we've heard from a player coming in. Apparently, he came into the training ground, which isn't true that I can think of. But like I say, he's most likely to come in. I think his name's, I don't want to say it wrong, but it's like Cochu or something.
Cochu, yes, that's the one. And then there was that the French lad as well, Borgerville. Well, I can't pronounce his name.
Baudegard.
Baudegard. Oh, is that how easy? I can pronounce that one, lad.
I think it is.
I can do that one. Baudegard. The lad from Rennes.
Yeah. The midfielder, yeah.
Yeah. Morning, Tom. How are you? Out, Hamza, Cags, Mendy, and Tillemans. Oh, he's gone for 3 midfielders, Tom has there. 3 midfielders. That's going to leave us a little bit short there, Tom, if we don't get anybody in.
Can I ask Tom a question then?
You ask away. He might not answer you, but you ask away.
If you want Mendy, did he say Chowdhury in that conversation?
Hamza, Mendy, and Tillemans, and
Because if you lose both Mendy and Chowdhury, who is your replacement DM? Because for me, they're the only 2 other ones that really can replace Indeed if he gets injured. For me, Mendy is a crucial kind of backup. Yes, people might not want players like that to have a backup, but thank you, John. Thank you.
I knew hashtag would say something about Magic Mendy. If hashtag was watching, I knew he would say something about it. Someone's just put. Oh, let's just not to moan. Mickey Rourke, Mike Rourke, not to moan, just my thoughts. We won't be bringing in any players this window. Here's a question for you then, lads and lasses that you're watching that have got up nice and early. If we don't sign anybody, do you think we still have a decent squad to stay in the Premiership? Not to stay in the Premiership, to compete in the Premiership, I should say. See, Reedy's stunned here. He's not sure how to answer.
No. I know we've got a good enough squad.
Jason has says 50. I think it was 52 yesterday, pal. I think. But yeah, it's 50 around the 50 plus days left.
There's still a lot of days.
But after 50 days, it's 28 days until the start of the Premiership season, Reader. 28 days. Would have played, that gives us what? 24 days. That's 3 weeks, just over 3 weeks. We're going to play 4 or 5 games in them 3 weeks. Surely you want players in well before the season starts.
I know what you mean. You want to get people in before the season starts so you can bet them in a bit more, but
who knows, Gray? Why didn't we sign Lookman? Why didn't we give that? I mean, that would have given competition. I don't think he'd have been a starting player, but for 14 million to give Barnes a kick up the arse when he hasn't been playing very well, then yeah, I agree with that. I don't understand. Did you like Lookman last year?
I thought he was one of our better players.
Yeah, I think he scored 8 goals, 5 assists, and he looked good in a Fulham team that went down the year before. And I didn't realise this, that he'd never played more than 50 games for any one club he's played for.
Well, he's been that sort of player where he just keeps going.
He can't get settled, can he? He can't get settled.
I thought he was a banging price for how
he wasn't like a constantly. He didn't play up to top game every minute of the game. He was in and out some games, but when he did it, didn't he?
He was still about a 7 out of 10 every game when he played.
Yeah. Nick Moore, Cags, Perez, Yuri, Pratt, loan, Bertrand, and bring in 3 centre back. Bring in 3 a centre back, centre midfield, and right wing. Yeah, I sort of agree with that one a bit. Cags out, even though he's one of my favourite players, but he hasn't been playing that well. Perez, he's not one of my favourite players, but he wears the blue shirt, so I try and support him. Yuri, He's gone down in my estimations over this transfer business all last season, the summer. Pratt, I do not know why he ever left the club. He just didn't. His face didn't fit. And Bertrand, well, it's the Southampton connection. But
so going back to the question you asked about, what was the question again? I'm trying to think.
Would we compete? Would we compete
yes.
if we didn't sign anybody?
All these people, again, you can have your opinions and whatnot, but the likes of Perez, likes of Mendy, likes of Cag, yes, he's not been playing well, but this is the depth that we need now. If we want to progress, yes, all the teams are signing all the players, like Spurs are signing players, Arsenal signing players to push
we are the only club that hasn't signed anybody yet.
No, I do know. I know that.
What's Forest? Your ex-team has signed 6 players. Your ex-team.
Well, they've got to, though, haven't they? They've got to, because they've lost about 4 of their loan players, so they've got to bring. Literally, they've got to do a Fulham from the other year when they bought like £100 million worth, and they just went back down. So they've got to progress.
A bit controversial, Mick Hewitt. I would still like to get rid of Nacho. Doesn't fit our style of play, and is too clumsy.
I would. That's the one player that I think. Don't get me wrong, he's a good player, but for me, he's been unfairly treated, so he kind of has to go and move on.
But when that year.
When he came in the second half of the season.
When Barnes got injured and he scored 13 goals, we played 2 up top and we played his style of football. Why can't we do that again?
That's kind of, I think for me, that's where, again, where you said about the DNA, that's kind of the style that I miss, but I don't think Brendan would ever go back to that now. Because Barnes that's the only reason why we played that formation, because Barnes really wasn't the one he's the one that came out, so we had to.
Here's a comment, Joseph. I'm not sure if we'll compete with the bigger teams. I think the bigger teams have blown us out the window the last couple of years, isn't there? Your Spurs have picking up now. Your Arsenal, you pick. Don't you think so?
No, I like. Don't get me wrong. Yes,
signings, Spurs and Arsenal. Not the Man U. I don't agree with Man U being one of the top clubs anymore.
You've still got to think though. Yes, they can make the signings, but if you're playing on each day, if you're better to play it, like better tactically playing against them, you can beat them. You can beat anyone on any day. For me, it's not all about the signings. I remember one of the first home games of the season against United last season. I was crapping myself because we're playing against Ronaldo. We beat them 4-2. It's not all about the players. Yes, Spurs can bring in all the players they want to, like with Richarlison and all that. But for me, we did it with the squad we had before to get a top 5 the 2 seasons. Right, we improved it last season. It just didn't work.
Right, Mark's made a good point. Going back on to what I said about competing, we literally have 7 or 8 players now available to us that missed between 4 and 6 months on average each. This will be a huge difference in its own right. Yes, but my question, Malk, is to you: do you think we have the depth, the squad depth to compete? If we pick up a few more injuries again, have we got the players to fill them spots? I totally agree with what you're saying. Yes, we literally we did. At the beginning of last season, injuries were awful and we did struggle. Yes, they've got them back. Hopefully, touch wood, they're fit to play. But have we got the squad depth in case? Surely we've got to change the squad depth a little bit, Mark, to improve our team. Because I don't think the squad depth last year was that good.
No,
we had a starting 11. But out of all them signings that we bought last year, Sumer, Dakar, Bertrand, Vestergaard, were they actually first starting 11 players or were they squad players? And did they improve?
I think Vestergaard and Bertrand were going to be a starting player because Bertrand started kind of well. People were saying how good he was doing running down that line and whatnot. And then Vestergaard did start, I think, a few games to begin with, but it kind of, because I think Evans came back as well and all that, everyone got shoved out of the squad. But again, for me, I honestly think we've got enough squad depth. But it's like you say, we've got about 29 players in the moment. Yeah. So we need to get a few of them kind of loose ends that I can't think of right now. People would say Vestergaard and all these players. But
like Mark's just answered the question. No, that's why I think 8 deadwood out and 5 quality in to complement the team. Yes, not quite sure. I don't think there'll be 8 out, Matt, but yeah, I totally agree with you. I think we need to get rid of some of the deadwood and 5 quality signings in. But I just wish people kept saying, wait till they get back ready, didn't wait to get back training, get the players back, and then we'll see some business. And I've said this the last 3 weeks. I've said this the last 3 weeks. On this show, you can go back and I've said it, we still haven't done anything. It's 3 weeks down the line. Well, no, 2 weeks down the line since they've been back, and there's still nothing happening. All the people, all the players that could go, the so-called, what people are saying, deadwood, they're there. They're in training. Your Hamza, your Perez's.
I think they're going to stay. It's the sort of players I can't think of, like I say, from the top of my head, but there's a few players that you'd think they don't play at all, but they're in that squad to kind of fill up the squad. So for me, you've got to start getting rid of them sort of players. And if you want to get rid of like 7 and bring in 4, that's like 13 different things now you've got to kind of get done before the window ends, which I just don't see happening.
It's like Gray just says, who do you think is deadwood?
People will say Vestergaard. I don't think he is. I've honestly, like he said, I think he was in a press conference after like after Danish played, and he was saying that he wants to try and force it, get into the starting 11, which I don't mind. That may be one reason or one issue sorted from set pieces. If he's in that box, yes, people will be like, oh, we couldn't do it at all last season. If he gets more confidence and plays more in defence, I can't see an issue in there. People say he's slow and care less.
Ross has made a good point. We talk about signings, but we do have an academy, you know. Yeah, no, but there doesn't seem to be any 1 or 2 outstanding players so good enough to make this step up just yet, is the reader.
There's a few, like say, Dewsbury came in. You've got the likes of Chowdy, who's obviously come in the last few seasons.
It took Dewsbury Hall 3 years to get in the team. Yes. He's 23 now. We haven't got any that we can literally, he's 19, put him in straight away.
You can't really think of many, but there was them a few, I can't remember. There was a few players that played, was it the Southampton last game of the season where a few of them came on? There was right, I think there was a left mid. I can't remember his name, but everyone was saying how fast he is. I can't even remember his name now. He's one of the most kind of known academy players. I think he's Portuguese actually. But like I say, there's a few that you'd probably say could give him a chance. But again, if you want to be going for top 8 at even minimum, then you can't really be putting them sort of players in until you know that they're that good.
Yeah, this lad, I think he was the centre half that came on at half time. Another name I can't pronounce. Apaya. He looked quite good. But there's a big step up from looking good in the under 18s, under 23s. See, he was being looked at. He was a trialist. He was being looked at for the under 23s, which I don't know. I don't like it when they're looking at under 23 for teams to go in the under 20 players to go in the under 23s. For me, I've just thought of a deadwood player. Who?
It's probably everyone's probably going to hate me for it, but Ward. You've got someone like Iverson coming up. You don't want Brennan likes free keepers, but someone like that to get rid of down the squad.
Tavares.
That's it. That's the one. Yeah, I remember he came on and he was just absolutely.
He came off one game and then he started against Burnley and nearly scored, didn't he, with a stunning drive. And then because he thought it was Billy Big,
he's left apparently.
He left ages. He left about 2 years ago, and he's playing in a team in League 2 in Portugal. That's where he's gone. Yeah. I know about George Hurst. He's Disco Pants' son, David Hurst. So yeah, I do know who he is, Ross. But he's another one. He's 23. He will take up a squad number. That's the problem. We've only got 25. Unless he starts banging in goals left, right, and centre. He scored goals for Portsmouth, but he didn't score any for Rotherham the year before. I don't know. Do you take a risk on taking up a squad member that might not get? I don't know. I think Hurst, if you're talking of Deadwood or an asset, as someone just put, I can't remember. Someone just put, they're not Deadwood, they're assets because they're on contract. So I can't remember exactly who put that comment. He might be an asset to sell, get a few quid off the wages and stuff like that. But I don't know. We've got to be careful with numbers. So, Mark's, sorry, it seems like it's the Mark show today, but he's making a lot of good, decent points. Tilly, not Deadwood, but don't want to be here. Hamza, Vestergaard, Bertram, Sumari, Albrighton, Mendy, Ward, and maybe Perez. But he confuses me when he plays with Ricardo. He's a better player. So would you agree with that? I think a lot of them he said, I know hashtag's not going to like the Mendy name being on there. Albrighton, a lot of fans love Mark Albrighton.
Again, looking at all of them, half of them for me, they're a decent squad depth like players. Again, it's not all about just main 11.
I don't think it's. I agree with Mark. A lot of them, they're not going to be regular first team players. Are they?
No, they're not going to be regular. But you need players to come on that has kind of the quality to bring something from the pitch.
Yeah, I think
for me, Perez is a good. I still think Perez is a decent player when he comes onto the pitch.
I actually think we need more quality in that squad. I think there is better quality out there than them names that he's mentioned. Which, so I agree with Mark. I seem to be agreeing with Mark a lot recently, which is strange. Hamza is on. Bloody hell! I've got to get working a bit. Last question. Hamza is on 61 grand a week. Who is going to pay that for a player who only took part in 10 games last year?
That was the question we had last week, wasn't it? It was just just not going to happen, is it?
Yeah. Yes, Mark. I do agree with you now and again, pal, but not often. But you know what I mean. No point in Lee Hinton saying no point in selling like for like. Need to buy at start. Yes, I think he's right there. Right then, Reedy, you're going to have the last say. The competition, pal. What's the competition? You talk about the competition.
So, the shirt that I'm wearing.
Not that actual shirt.
No, you're not having this shirt because it's my shirt. But this brand new home 22-23 shirt is getting given away from Leicester Fan TV, thanks to Pukka. So make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure to go to our website as well, leicesterfantv.com, to make sure you can check out the link to get to entering the giveaway. And hopefully soon, I can't remember what the end date is, but we'll be announcing that probably before the season starts. I
mean, literally, all you got to do is subscribe to YouTube, haven't you? That's all you got to do. Yes. Click the subscribe button. Simple as. Even I can do that. And I'm a technophobe. I haven't got a clue about techno stuff or anything because Reedy will know. I can even press one little button. That's all you got to do. Everyone that's on YouTube will get entered into the competition. New fans, old fans, fake fans, influencers, you name it. Anyone will get a chance of winning. Right then, Reedy. That's me done because I've got to go to work.
On a Sunday?
On a Sunday. I've got to go to work on a Sunday. Not like you.
Enjoy,
back bed.
Oh, I'm not going back bed. I'll have a day, I know.
Rightio then. I shall speak to you through the week, pal.
Okay, see you in a bit, mate. Cheers.
See you later, matey. Right, that's it. Cheers for watching. I know it sounded a bit like the Mark Hegg show today as well, but he made some good comments there. All you got to do, get your comments on there and put them on. And I will me and Reedy will talk about your comments, whether they're good, whether they're bad, indifferent, I shall put them on for you. So literally, you know what I'm going to say. It's ciao, ciao, adios, goodbye. Top of the morning to you. Come on, you foxes. See you next week, lads and lasses.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.